My guest on the podcast this time out is Ollie Anglesea, frontman of the Lilacs. We talked about the band's career, which is massively busy. I thought the Keys were a hard-working band, but the Lilacs have totally blown them out the water, man. Constant gigging, constant festivals, constantly selling out Manchester. Spoke about all this, plus at the end, Ollie picked his heroes to come for dinner. Hope you all enjoy the podcast. Please keep liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing wherever you can. But more importantly, enjoy.
A given chance is all it takes. I will come in different shapes. A simple thing, a true word spoke, a laugh untouched. So we both joke, this will come if you stay.
On the podcast today, I've got Ollie Anglesea, the frontman of the Wigan band, the Lilacs.
Hello there.
We're going to talk about the Lilacs' career up to what's going on now. They've just recently released their EP 3952 Forever. That's correct, isn't it? So we're going to talk about that. They're out on tour. They've just finished a wee acoustic in-store tour, and then they're going out on a proper headline tour in the next few days. But what I like to do at the start, Ollie, is get right back to the start for yourself. What was life like for a young you growing up?
God, what a question. I don't really know. Just the normal kind of youthful life, really. You know, going out, playing with the friends, football, that kind of thing. To be fair, I only really got into music properly when I was probably about 16, but like properly enjoyed music. But my mum, when I was about 6 or 7, I did try actually at the time playing guitar, but I just didn't like it, or piano, didn't like it. So I was she then pushed me down the route of drums. So I've been playing drums for a long time. So I suppose I just did a lot of playing of the drums, really. But that didn't mean that I was so much into music, though. I just loved playing drums, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I didn't
It's getting that energy.
Yeah, that energy. It wasn't like, like listening to music or writing music, anything like that. It was just like smashing the drums kind of thing. So there was obviously that. Yeah, that's it really, mate. Nothing out of the ordinary, do you know what I mean? Just the pretty standard, pretty boring, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah. We used to do that at school, like in music class, and every time the teacher went out the room, you'd go up to the drum kit and just smash it a bit, but you'd there was no method to it.
Yeah, well, exactly.
But it must have been some racket throughout the school, and then the teacher come in and get off her head, man. Mental.
Yeah, I've done that a few times, mate. Get out of there, will you? I'm like, all right.
So, like, obviously, he says you never really get into music till later on. So, like, once you kind of did get into music, what sort of music were you listening to? What was your kind of early influences?
I mean, my first proper gig that I went to was the Stone Roses reunion. I absolutely adored the Stone Roses. I still do, to be honest with you. As much I don't listen to them quite as much as I used to, because I used to be obsessed. Like, they still have hold a big place in my heart. They're almost the reason that I did get into music. But from there, then I started listening to, I don't know, the Smiths and obviously little bits of Oasis, although possibly not as much as other people. And massively into the Cortinas, massively, which I'm sure is reflected in my work. But yeah, loved the Cortinas. Just then went watching them all the time. I just loved what he wrote about and how he wrote, and the kind of the stuff that was in there, if you know what I mean, like the lyrics that you could pull out of each one I just thought they were all brilliant. So
yeah. What Rosie's gig did you go to? Were you at Heaton Park?
No, I went to the Etihad one.
Right.
2017, I think it was. So I must have been I don't know, I think I might have been 17.
It's a bit young. I was at Heaton Park I was at the last night at Eden Park.
2012, wasn't it?
Yeah, I went to that, and then I think I went to see him at Glasgow Green, and then Hampden
Yeah.
Park as well. So I've seen them 3 times, man. Absolute, some of the best nights ever. The
Yeah.
Hampden Park one was like the last one ever. So
Yeah.
brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. And obviously before the band formed, from what I'm led to believe, you and Sam were in another band. Is that right?
Yeah, we were in like a little, like a wedding function band kind of thing. So we used to do covers. I actually was the drummer in that band before I became the singer in this one. And yeah, we just used to do the circuit. We used to do pubs, bars, clubs, lots of weddings and functions and things like that. Yeah, loved it to be fair. It was a right laugh, long nights and things like that. But no, it was good. And then I just think one day we decided that, you know what, we're gonna go and have a go ourselves at doing our own stuff.
Well, you've definitely done that. Definitely done that.
You know?
So, I forming the band, obviously, you and Sam.
Yeah.
How did you get the other two? Are you all for the same area?
Dave, the drummer, is actually from Southport. I mean, I was obviously on the drums, but writing quite a lot of the music, and we were getting a singer is harder than getting a drummer kind of thing, if you know what I mean. And we auditioned a few singers, frontmen, and they just didn't sing the songs the way that possibly I wanted them to. And then Sam also saw my vision kind of thing. And then one thing led to another, and I ended up at the front singing. So then that meant that we needed to find a drummer and we needed to find a bass player. And then I knew a girl from college, and she went to uni with Dave. So that's how that. And I actually just went to college with Matt, the bass player. So yeah, that's how we formed, mate. Asked them both to come and audition, kind of thing. Let's come and have a jam, and we hit it off ever since. Really.
And how did you find the step up for coming off the drums and taking over vocals?
I loved it. Absolutely love it. I love it now. I mean, you can definitely tell that there's in the 5-ish years, 6 years, I think it is, that we've been together now. You can definitely see my progression, whether that's the actual vocal cord itself has grown, like it's a muscle, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, so you go from not being a singer at all to then being a singer. So it was like those 6 years we've been together, my voice has become so much stronger. But I think I've grown in the actual frontmanship, if you know what I mean, like the confidence on stage and, getting the work in the crowd and things like that. I think that's something that I didn't do as well in the early days, but I think obviously now I'm, we're established and I am who I am. But no, I absolutely love it, mate. All the attention's on me.
Yeah, is that what you're into? Do you like the attention?
I mean, I don't mind it. I do like it, to be fair. Not like too much. I don't like love the attention, but I think out of the 4 of us in the band, it's better that it is me because I'm a little bit more out there, a little bit more extrovert, if you know what I mean.
You do all come across so as confident, assured in what you are doing. That's obviously been the journey that's got you to that point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think you have to be confident, don't you? Do you know what I mean? You have to come across that you are confident in what you're doing, or else people just don't buy into you. But I think, the fans and the people who buy the records and the people who stream and people who buy tickets to come to gigs and things like that, they make you feel confident. Do you know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, well, there's thousands of people buying tickets and there's hell of a lot more people streaming. There's thousands of people buying the record and things like that. So you just start to give your own sense of belief so that when you do walk out on stage, you're like, I've got purpose here, if you know what I mean. Because they've all bought a ticket to watch me. So that probably comes from that.
And obviously the name of the band, the Lilacs.
Yeah.
You talk us through that.
Yeah, so that was possibly one of the reasons why we got into the band. In that time when myself and Sam were in the other function band, Sam's mum sadly passed with breast cancer when we were 16, 17. And, a sad time for us all, obviously. But I think that passing made us or Sam specifically have the belief to go, right, let's just go and do this on our own. Let's go and make our own band. And then when you're trying to come up with band names, you've got sheets and sheets of band names and stuff, and they're all rubbish names until you become a good band. Do you know what I mean? Arctic Monkeys or, Away, well, they're all just a name's a name until you become established. So we didn't really have a name. And then I think one of the charities that worked closely with Annette, Sam's mum, before she died, was called the Lilacs Centre, which is in St Helens, up the road from us. And I think it might have even been Sam's dad who said, "Why don't you call them the Lilacs?" named after that. And then, we was like, "Well, we don't have anything else." And to be fair, that's got real meaning. And yeah, that's kind of where the name came from. Because we'll always remember why we started what we're doing, because of, if that makes sense. Because obviously the Lilacs, and we always walk on stage. Some people do know this, some people don't. We always walk on stage to Annette's favourite song, which is Zoom by Fat Larry's band, which is a great track.
That's brilliant. And so starting out, obviously 2019.
Yeah.
Right at the start of 2019, you released Vicarage Road.
Yeah.
Followed shortly by Something or Nothing.
Yeah.
And then another single, Seen It All, later in the year.
Yes.
Gig-wise as well, you are predominantly that year kind of in your local area.
Yes.
Manchester, Warrington, Liverpool, Blackpool, places like that. Early support from This Feeling.
Yes.
This Feeling have kind of followed you and been there throughout your career. So
yeah.
How is kind of the support for Mikey and George at This Feeling?
This Feeling are amazing. They are, there are a lot of bands, ourselves, there's a band, obviously the Claws, as I'm sure you've heard of, the K's, the Lavums, all these bands that are doing well for themselves now. And even all the other bands that are even smaller. But what I mean is, for those guys, they wouldn't be where they are without the Lavums, and we wouldn't be, they wouldn't be where they are today without This Feeling, and we wouldn't be where we are today without This Feeling. They help up and coming bands, and they're seeing so much. I can't even tell you. They will help you get into different cities, and they'll take risks and they'll take punts and they'll push you, and spend money on your marketing or whatever that may be. So I've only got the utmost respect for Mikey Johns and George and the team and all the reps who've worked with us over the years, because ultimately without those guys, we wouldn't be where we are today, really.
And like those early singles, and the other single that you released 2020, they were produced by Gareth Nuttall.
Yes.
So what was it like working with him? I see he's kind of worked with a lot of the bands that you've mentioned as well.
Yeah, Lottery Winners he's worked with those as well, hasn't he? Gaz is brilliant. Gaz is really, really good. He inspired us when we were in there, brought, a sense of wisdom kind of thing. He clearly been there and done it before. Helped us out quite a lot, sonically and creatively. Gaz was good. Gaz was really, really good, especially because we were new. We were a new band on the scene. We'd never done this kind of thing before. Even though I did that kind of stuff at uni, the recording and stuff. Never really did it. I don't know, almost proper. So us going in, being the recordees, I don't know if that's the right word. It was just new. It was just new to us all, and it made us feel really warm and really welcome. It was great. Gaz is brilliant.
Is it daunting? Like, obviously, where you are, where you're situated in the northwest, Wigan, you've got Manchester, Liverpool, and about you. If you just look and know that there is so many bands of your kind of stature or kind of situated in that area, is it daunting kind of putting yourself out there initially?
It can be, and don't get me wrong, we'd be lying if we weren't if you were looking at the other bands and with envy sometimes and things like that. But I think something that I've learned over the last couple of years or so is that there's enough room for all bands, if you know what I mean. These gig goers don't just love one band and don't go anywhere else. They love all bands. So just because they like another band and things like that, or another band's doing well, doesn't mean that you also can't do well, if that makes sense, even though they're in the same area, because they'll also come and watch you. So, I mean, I don't feel as daunted, anything like that now, but I certainly probably used to when we were starting out a little bit, for sure, yeah, definitely.
And obviously 2020, kind of like looking through your Instagram and your Spotify and all that, and I kind of thought there's this big kind of gap, and it wasn't. It's as if I'd kind of wiped out COVID and lockdown from my memory. But 2020, you brought it Sally at the end of 2020. He played Wigan Boulevard in March, and then that was kind of. That must have been like one of the last gigs before lockdown.
Yeah, it was.
How then did kind of lockdown affect the band and kind of doing like online gigs and stuff like that?
I think lockdown was good for us, to be fair. It almost felt like when we didn't do much during lockdown. Maybe not the first one. You might know more than me, to be fair. But I can't remember. But it felt like when we came out of lockdown, we felt like a new, re-energized band. Like we always say within ourselves, like we started when the lockdown finished, because I don't know, we all had this energy to just smash it, and we all put more time in, more effort. So we were definitely a better band on the back of lockdown. I know that I did a few, I think I called it like live from my lounge or live from my living room or something like that. I did a few of those, which were quite good. They had quite a lot of followers and quite a lot of engagement. I remember jumping on with the Sherlocks. The Sherlocks did one, which then led to us actually getting a support slot, I think, soon after lockdown. I think that might have been in 2021. Actually.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know when lockdown was anymore. It's a blur, that.
Yeah, that's the same for me. That's how I couldn't work out that big gap. But I so 2021, back gigging, Wigan Boulevard, this feeling show. Then you had Sherlock support, his support as well, and then finished the year off with this feeling alive tour as well.
Yeah, so, yes, I remember that. Yeah.
When you came back to gigging, then was it just desperation to get back out?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely was. Like I said, we had this eagerness that I hadn't seen from our band previous to lockdown. So yeah, we were just chomping at the bit really to get back out there, as I'm sure every band were at that time. Yeah, everyone was just ready to get back on the wagon.
Yeah, I can mind as soon as you were all back to gigs. I think I had about 4 or 5 gigs in the first month. I was buying all sorts: Billy Bragg, Libertines, anything that I've seen, I was just buying. And obviously, you with this feeling back, and you got on the Isle of Wight bill, which was in September that year after it came back.
Yeah.
I don't think you've missed a year of Isle of Wight since, man. You've just been smashing it.
I know. This is our 5th year now. We're returning to the island. We're doing the big top tent again, which is mega. But yeah, 5 years. 5 years running. It's almost like our annual lads holiday. That's what we call it. You know, like we go down from like the Wednesday. We absolutely love that festival. Like everything about it, the whole thing. So again, can't thank this feeling enough for having us there, because we absolutely love it. And we've actually found that there's a lot of people who now follow us because of the Isle of Wight. So even though it's far away, long old journey, you have to get on a ship actually to get there. There's a lot of people who have followed us on the back of those gigs, that festival. So yeah, love it.
Oh, I mean that's one of the things that I've noticed for looking at your gigs and all that. The minute you play a place, you seem to get a stand in there, and then you're back at that place pretty quickly, kind of cementing that kind of relationship. Has that been something that has been a conscious effort for the start?
Yeah, probably. So if you might do like a festival slot or a support slot, and then we will probably then follow that up with our own gig there, because what we find is that like whenever we do place, places, a lot of people buy into the music that we're doing and buy into our show. So a lot of people then show interest about a gig. This happens at most gigs. This isn't me, I don't know, blowing smoke up or or being big-headed or anything. That's genuinely how it seems to have gone. If wherever we play, a lot of people seem to buy into what we're doing. So we seem to sell quite a lot of tickets anywhere that we've gigged, if that makes kind of sense. But yeah.
And that's the thing, when you look at those gigs, you can see the progression and the upscale every time as well.
Yeah.
2022, you brought out the Red Flags and Warning Signs EP.
Yeah.
It says EP, and one of the songs seems to be missing for Spotify. I don't know what's happened to it. There's only 3 songs on the Spotify.
Yeah. I think we took one of the tracks down, something to do with, I can't remember, something to do with like the quality or something of this. I don't know what it was. I can't remember at the time. It was a while ago. But to be honest with you, it weren't a track that I like that much anyway. That EP was done with a few friends who we met through gigging, the pair of them loved the band, loved the music, and we went to a studio to record that, and they took us to do it. And it was a little bit, what's the word? Unprepared kind of thing. It wasn't possibly the most professional kind of setup or anything like that. That's why you'd be able to tell the difference of those tracks, sound quality, than the ones that have been done by professional outfits, if you know what I mean. So yeah, but at the time, they obviously they paid for it. For us, we needed the money kind of thing. It was an absolute no-brainer. But there's no bad blood between us and them or anything like that. It was just,
It sounds kind of different for your later stuff as well. It's got a kind of Arctic Monkeys sound, like maybe like second album Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, I think that was. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. I think that was an influence that we had at the time. We were still only recently, in the last 12 to 18 months, or in and around when Grace was written and recorded, I think if we actually found our sound and what kind of direction we're going down. Like you say, you named 4 of the earlier tracks there. They're all different in their own right. You know what I mean? They are all. I don't think you can. Obviously, my vocals are on it, which will always be tying them all together. But I think they've each got their own stylistic themes and things like that, which is obvious. Whereas I think you can tell that we've clearly got a direction that we're going in and our own sound.
It does. It takes that time, doesn't it? I manage a band and kind of they've been going about a year, and you can tell kind of like maybe get 15, 16 songs, but they all kind of sound different. There isn't that kind of theme there and that sound that you can define as them yet.
No, exactly. And I think that when they go out and play to the masses and they get the right receptions on different songs, that's when they'll find their sound, because they'll know that song went well and that one went down well. And before you know it, they'll write off the back of that kind of reception, won't they?
Yeah. Gig-wise, 2022, Manchester with Roller, That's Feeling. I've had James, he's a former guest in the podcast. For the following month, he played Wigan Boulevard again, supporting Johnny Brown for Twisted Roots.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, he's one that I've been trying to get in the podcast. He disappears online from time to time. And then obviously followed up in March by like I'll take this as your kind of first kind of headline tour. Getting out and about a bit more, Stockton, Sheffield, York, Liverpool, Leeds, and then finished off at London Water Rats, which obviously iconic venue for Oasis. So was it kind of going down to London and playing a venue like that?
It was good, the Water Rats, yeah, that was that's a great venue, fantastic venue. It was good. Like you said, there's a lot of big artists have played. I think Amy Winehouse has played there as well, from memory. But there'll be loads that have played there. But yeah, like to play an iconic venue like that, and I think it was busy. I think our first time in London, I think it was busy. I think it's 150 cap, and I'm sure there weren't many tickets left. So that was quite a special moment as well. to go down to the big smoke and obviously nearly sell out a show. No, yeah, it was good. It was really good. I really enjoyed that tour. I forgot about it. You're taking me through all my memories here, mate. You know, the blast from the past kind of stuff. Yeah, I remember that. I remember playing York as well. York was a good gig. Was that? I don't know, you might know. Was that at the Fulford Arms? Was it? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I never played
I
on
remember
the.
that. Yeah.
I was honestly going through it last night, and I was writing everything down, and then I had to rewrite it all because it was all over the place. So I never had time to write down all the specific venues because it would have took me forever, man. I should have really spent a wee bit more time, like started the research a bit earlier. The next thing was Rosadoc support, which obviously they're quite kind of similar, probably in stature to yourselves at the time. So Rosadoc support in their hometown, and then later on in the year, your first trips to Scotland, you played Broadcast in Glasgow and Sneaky Pete's in Edinburgh.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember that Rosadoc's gig. Have you got anything else written down there?
Rosadocs, that all I've got there is that was in May because you supported them later on as well.
Yeah, we support. Yeah. God, what was that, Rosadocs? Oh yes. It was at a venue called Network, I think.
That's right. Aye.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, God, yeah, that was a long time ago. Wow.
I've
them.
just been messaging that. Is it Dino Lawrence? I think he does a lot of the gigs up there. I've been messaging him to see about getting the
he does Away Day Radio, doesn't he? Is that the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then October, Glasgow and Edinburgh. So your first time in Scotland, how was that?
So that was Broadcast Glasgow. That was
Broadcast, that's a cracking venue.
Yeah, it was. I mean, if I'm being totally honest with you, mate, transparent, there was 10 people in the room. It was like a really tough gig. It was like a real grounding gig, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, you go on a tour that nearly sells out, and then you go and do a gig to 11 people again. It's like, just remember that this thing is hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if it's your first time up in Scotland, though.
Exactly. I loved it.
Get that connection, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I loved it. I loved Glasgow. It was a great night out. I mean, if we hadn't done that gig, I may have not written You're Not That Daft, which is based on a few events of that evening. And obviously, You're Not That Daft's off the new EP that's out this week.
I need to get back and listen to that with that insight now.
Yeah. Well, no, there's a line in there that says, "Do you remember that night when we caused a racket? We got that back in because we both swapped jackets. Like, genuinely went out to a club, can't remember what it was, and we couldn't get in because we were just being a nuisance apparently. But myself and David just went away, swapped jackets, and let us back in, which was bizarre. I didn't know that worked. I thought it was just a cliche, but clearly it does. You know."
The Glasgow bouncers they've not got that intelligence.
Right. Oh, really? Yeah. So no, yeah. I'm glad we did it. And then it was Sneaky Pete's the day after, was it?
Yeah.
That was full. That was a full show. It's a really small venue. I bet there was only 60 people in there, something like that. But it was full, and I loved it. Really, really good. We love Glasgow. We did. Oh well, I'm sure you've already got it on your schedule there. I think King Tut's we did that.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got that.
Fair enough. We'll get to that.
I mean, after the Scottish dates, you then supported Andrew Cushion, who was on at the time. Leeds, Manchester, Sheffield, Nottingham. Andrew Cushion, brilliant talent.
Yeah.
Kind of the same stature. There just seems to be so many coming up at the same time.
Yeah.
So how was it supporting him? I get lots of good things to say about that boy.
Yeah. He's good. We like Andrew. He helped us out quite a lot. I would say that a lot of the fans, or at that time, we had a lot more following because they came to see us at the Andrew Cushion shows, whether that was Manchester, some of the dates I'm sure you've mentioned there. So yeah, I have nothing but, again, utmost respect for him. Because it felt like when we did the 4 or 5 days with him, whatever it was, there was a lot of people messaging us, a lot of new followers, a lot of people mentioning stories, a lot more engagement, and a lot of those people saying, "Oh, we saw you for the first time at Andrew Cushing," or that, so yeah, they were good. They were good shows for us.
Mm. And obviously, festival wise, you did Summerfest, Gateways Festival. Why not? Isle of Wight, obviously. Northwest, Northfest, and the Gathering Sounds. That was this feeling type
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
So a bit more festivals that year. And as we go forward, man, it's like, okay, you're taking off every festival going. 2023, more
Yeah.
new music, sticky dance floors,
Yes.
Grace that you mentioned, and
Yeah.
then later on At Your Age.
Yeah.
Produced by Eddie Hall and Lee McCarthy.
Yeah.
So how was it working with them? How did they kind of progress the Lilacs sound?
They definitely did help progress the Lilac sound. I don't know. I don't know if I've got a definitive answer to that though. We just seem to get on. Sometimes it's about the relationship that you've got with the producer, and that's not to say that we had a bad one with Gaz. We didn't at all. I don't actually know why we didn't continue working with Gaz. I think we just fancied a bit of a change. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, we got on with those guys really well, and obviously the Sticky Dance Floors, which is become one of our bigger tracks. Obviously, Grace, which is possibly Vicarage Road's our biggest track, but I don't know. There's something about Grace at gigs. There's like there's like emotion in the air when Grace is played, and obviously they were a big part of that. I actually went into the studio with those guys, and the chorus that is now the chorus in Grace was actually the first verse, but they said it was far too strong to be a first verse. So without those guys, Grace might not be the same song because it's just a first verse, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So no, really enjoyed working with those guys. Absolute pleasure. Would work with them again. Would recommend.
And then gigging wise that year, so you started off in January playing the Etihad ahead of the Man City Chelsea game.
Yeah.
So I think that's the second time you played kind of because they do like the live performances like in the fan zones and that.
Yeah.
So what's the script with Man City? What team do you support? Are you Wigan or are you the bigger teams?
No, I'm a Man City fan. So
Right.
that was brilliant for me. Yes, City fan, got a season ticket and things. So that was class. I loved it. That game there was we beat Chelsea 4-0 in the FA Cup.
I can mind that game.
Yeah. It was a year we went on to do the treble. It was that year, I think that. But it was good because our manager Todd, his best friend's a Chelsea fan, and they came up to watch it.
Right.
Because you get loads of free tickets as well. But no, it was good. It was good. Really good. What's good is they put you on. You play outside on the stage, but you go on the big screen inside inside the ground. You know what I mean? So before the game, even though there might not be loads of people might go in at 1:45 kind of thing. So even though there's less people there's people watching inside the ground and things like that. So we've had a few people who've said to us, I saw you at the Etihad. But that's the kind of thing that's just good for PR, good for socials, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of football teams are kind of tapping into that market now. If you look like you get Jamie Webster with Liverpool,
yeah,
and Sam with Newcastle.
Yeah.
I'm going to see Louis Dunford tomorrow night. Obviously, he's fucking massive at Arsenal, and it seems to be kind of. There always has been that connection with music and football, and when you fuse the two together, it's kind of you're onto a winner.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
And obviously after that, you done. I think this is your second time as well doing like Wigan Warriors. I think the Wigan Warriors against Hull, and obviously I'm pretty sure the K's have done some rugby league stuff as well, and I spoke to Dean Fairhurst with Sly Diggs. He was right into the rugby league playing the matches. So how's that for you? And rugby league one of your things?
I don't mind. I don't mind watching it. If Wigan are on, I'll watch it, kind of thing, and support them. But I don't particularly follow Wigan. I don't particularly follow rugby at all. None of us do really. But again, it was just a chance to get in front of a different audience, mate.
It is massive in that area. Though. I can mind after speaking to Dean for Sly Diggs, the rugby was on like that weekend, and I thought I'm going to watch this. Did not have a clue what they were doing, man.
No,
it's not even like the international stuff. It's all fucking different rules, man.
yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't get it, mate. I don't get it. Football.
And then, obviously, March March seems to be when you do your kind of tour before football season. So again, out in tour, Leeds, Newcastle, Sheffield, London, and Manchester. I'm not sure what venue it was in Manchester, but
what year? 24?
2023.
Deaf Institute.
Yeah, so sold it, and that seems to become the script going forward with Manchester. So you've obviously kind of building that connection there.
Yeah, that was crazy. That one. That was we put that whole tour on sale, and the Deaf Institute sold out in 24 hours, which at the time was crazy for us because, like, I don't even know how that happened. To be honest, just because the others sold, but they were just obviously not as quick. It was our first time putting a proper Manchester date on. So clearly we didn't know, but there was some form of demand. You know what I mean? Or we must have known, else we wouldn't have put it on. So, yeah, crazy. And then they've sold out ever since. We did the Gorilla at the end of that year.
It's just constant step ups.
Yeah. So, yeah, crazy. Obviously the rates, which I'm sure is on you.
Yeah. So do you see now, like, kind of, do you consider yourself like a Manchester band now?
Because I mean, it's tough, isn't it? Like when we get branded as a Manchester band, which I don't mind because I love Manchester, but we're obviously we're a band from Wigan, so we're definitely a Wigan band. But I would definitely suggest that our hometown is Manchester in terms of like hometown shows, if that makes sense. And I don't know how that's happened. I don't know if there's more I think it might have been because we've done more supports in Manchester. And I think that's because there are a lot more venues in Manchester that hold different capacities and are accessible to various different size bands, if that makes sense. So in Wigan, you've either got to be playing a 300 cap, or I think there's only the next step up is like a 3,000 cap. So there's no in between, you know. So not a lot of bands come and play in Wigan, to be fair. That we know of anyway. So we do a lot of supporting and a lot of gigging just naturally in Manchester. Before you know, that's where the following came. Yeah,
Manchester has got the venues for the step up. It's kind of similar. Glasgow's similar. You've got the kind of step ups. You see,
I mean, you've got
they've kind of took that journey, and you see them step up to bigger venues.
I mean, we've done loads. Our first ever show was at the Castle in Manchester, and then we've done Night and Day. We've done Deaf Institute, we've done Manchester Night People, Factory 251, Gorilla, The Ritz. Honestly, we've done loads. We played the Albert Hall with the Sherlocks. We've done loads of gigs. We've done more than that, just in little tiny venues. So, yeah, there are a lot of good venues actually in Manchester, a lot of good ones.
Yeah. And then Glasgow again, the Flying Duck, which I'm not even sure where that is in Glasgow. It's one of the venues I've never been in.
That actually, to be fair, mate, that show got cancelled for some reason. I do not know why.
Maybe it's shut down then. If I've never been in it, I don't have a clue.
I can't remember why. I just remember it got cancelled. That actually never happened. That show, I remember that. That's in the last couple of years. That. Oh no.
And then the Chase support and Andrew Cushing support. Then you played Liverpool and Birmingham. And then that summer, July, you played the Good Mixer in London.
Yes.
John Kennedy turned up to support you. So how was that then, John Kennedy kind of giving you his backing?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of met John Kennedy a few times now since then. We always have a good catch-up and a good laugh. You know, he's a good guy. What he does for up-and-coming bands and things like that are brilliant. Obviously, his exposure show on Radio X is brilliant, and and whenever we put a new single out or any new music, he'll always hit us up and say, kind of, send over the song. He's got a decent relationship with our manager Todd now, so. But no, what he does is fantastic, mate. Really, really good. And he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a top bloke, man. Good music taste. Then October, the Rifle support, more Andrew Cushion support.
Yeah.
November, you did Bridlington on Spa, and I think it's off the back of you've done the This Feeling festival there as well.
Yeah.
And then you finished the year off Manchester Gorilla, but before that you done 2 supports with The View and Newcastle. So obviously The View and the Libertines are like my 2 big bands. So how was it playing these shows? Because that was their first shows back with the new album.
Yeah, they were good. Where were they?
What was behaviour that night? Because I think it was in Manchester. They ended up fighting each other.
Yeah, and that was at the Deaf Institute. I remember that. That went viral, didn't it? I think we supported them at Keele University, if I'm right, and then Newcastle. No, they were good, mate. They were good. Good set of lads, and yeah, the crowd was up for it.
Yeah, and then obviously finished the year off the Manchester Gorilla. So again, smashed it.
Yeah, that was such a good night. That was a good night.
And festival-wise, Great Escape, Askham Festival, Stockton Calling, This Feeling by the Sea, as I mentioned.
Aye.
Isle of Wight, obviously, Irlam Live, and the Nose Festival, which is at Dino Lawrence in it, and then Why Not Festival. So again, man, ramp it up, man. Like these gigs and festivals, man, you must not get a break all summer.
No, we don't really. Well, you want it, I mean, I've got a lot of unannounced stuff this year so far, as well as stuff that is announced. So this year's even busier. But yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. Love it. Love being on the road with the boys and playing to however many people. It's mega. Can't complain. But no, we don't really get that much of a break. No.
So is this the band full time then?
We're not far off. Everyone's still got jobs. I mean, I'm quite lucky. I work. My family own a digital marketing company, so I get to jump off kind of wherever I need to. But the other lads, to be fair, have got quite flexible jobs as well. So
fucking need to be in this band.
I know you actually need to. I know it's like so obviously, busy schedule, but no, we're very flexible, and hopefully in the next 12 to 18 months, it becomes something that's properly full time. But I'd say at the minute it's a little bit more than part time, but I wouldn't say we're not full time at work, any of us by any stretch. So no.
So last year, 2024, Hopeless Romantic came out in February, again produced with Eddie Hall and Lee McCarthy.
Yeah.
And then later on in the year, October, Where Have You Been Hiding, which is on the EP.
Yeah.
And that came out in October and produced by Joe Cross for the Cortinas.
Yeah.
So obviously you mentioned at the start, Cortina's big influence in yourself, and you can hear that kind of sound and the song. So where does that come from? Does that sound comfy, kind of Joe's producing?
I mean, I think he knew what we wanted it to sound like, and he knew that obviously who our influences were, and he just kind of just took it to the next level, I think, and he did exactly what we wanted. So he added his own influences and things like that. I mean, Joe's obviously one of the core teamers, but he's also worked with a lot of other bands and a lot of big artists like Louis Tomlinson, and he's had numerous #1 albums. So anything that he says, you've almost just got to take on board, because you think he's wiser than we are. He's been there and he's done it. So anything that he kind of said, we were like, yeah, okay, let's do it, kind of thing. So absolutely loved working with Joe. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you get everything, but you get the kind of musical style, you get the energy and everything. It does kind of, the first time I heard it, to double take it wasn't Cortinas, but as you listen to the EP you can definitely get the Lilac style coming through as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, another big thing that happened in 2024 is signing Scruff of the Neck Records.
Yeah.
So obviously, like with the EP coming out on them, how does it work with them? Obviously, I've had Shambolics and I've had Shelter Boy. I think they're both on Scruff of the Neck.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the Shambolics definitely are. We know them quite well, to be fair. I
Good.
mean, yeah, it's good. I mean, it's always a, it's a proud moment. I think for us all just to say you've obviously signed to a record label, because that ultimately just means that someone's invested loads of time and money into you. So you're clearly worth something to someone. So that alone is something to be proud of. But no, absolutely love working with Scruff. They're a brilliant. The brilliant setup. They've helped us so much. They've added so much infrastructure, and obviously the release of the EP this week is we couldn't be where we are this week without those guys, if that makes sense. So no, brilliant, loved it.
Yeah, I was looking on their website. I was thinking of sending the band and sending the band down to them to see if we can work with them or something. I've been sending them Scruff of the Net. I was looking at that. What do you call him? Spirit of Spike Island. What's that boy called? Forget Athlete's Palace.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at his as well, man. I'm just trying to get the band out to as many record labels, so hopefully somebody bites.
Yeah.
So that year lottery winner support in January, and then February you were in Glasgow. Did you play this one in McCool's?
Yes, sold that out, class. That was
That's a cracking venue as well, isn't it?
that was good. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, that kind of spurred us on to do King Tut's at the end of the year, I think. No, good. Yeah, love Glasgow, mate. Love it.
Then you supported Cast.
Yes.
Which I'm going to see. I think I seen Cast that year on that tour. I'm going to see them again. I've got tickets for them at the Barrowlands later in the year.
Yeah.
With Pastel supporting, and that's going to be a cracking gig. How was that then with Power?
Yeah, I mean, Cass were good. They were nice lads. They came in to say hello to us and things like that. I said nice lads are all in ours. That sounded a bit patronising. They're nice blokes, if you will. They're a nice group of people. They allowed us to play in front of 2,500. I think it was nearly sold out, and I think the O2 in Leeds is like 2,500. So yeah, that was they gave us the stage to play in front of 2,500 people, and that was a really big opportunity for us. So like we said to them on the night, obviously can't thank them enough, And again, we've had quite a lot of people come watching us off the back of that show.
Yeah, well, that's it. Obviously, as I said earlier, about so you played that in Leeds and then out on tour.
Yeah.
Sheffield, Stockton, Birmingham, Nottingham, Brighton, Southampton, Bristol,
London,
Liverpool, and Leeds. So, like that Leeds show then on the tour, then would you have seen the kind of upturn for just playing it with Cast?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Leeds sold out. I think last year it was the Brudenell, great venue. That sold out fairly quickly. They all sold out. Yeah, it's been a crazy 12 months, mate. Honestly, like it's been humbling, I suppose, because every gig seems to sell out. Everyone's buying merch. Everyone's listening and streaming. The streaming figures are up and things like that. It's just been a crazy 12 months, yeah, for sure.
In May, then you played Sunderland, and right after the gig, Sam had to go to hospital. So what happened there?
Sam's can sometimes be a bit of a hypochondriac in our band, so we didn't believe him when he was ill. Do you know what I mean? He was like hobbling over and things like that. Sometimes we think he does it just so he doesn't have to carry stuff in, but that's a running joke in our band. But no, he was like keeled over, and we were like, "Get over it." And no, turns out he had appendicitis. So literally the day after, he had to have his appendix out. Yeah, crazy.
And how was he? How's the recovery for that? Just because my mate at work, he's just had his about a month ago, and he said apparently they were talking about 6 to 8 weeks recovery.
Yeah, I mean, I had it out a few years prior. I had mine out a few years, sorry, prior. And I think I was sort of like 6 weeks. Yeah, I think Sam was probably the same. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
It just
must,
hurts after.
must be tough for him because you were back out in June supporting the Sherlocks, big show at Don Valley Bowl,
Yes, I remember
and
this.
then another big support the following month with James in Scarborough.
Yeah,
So I big kind of outdoor shows. Obviously, it's festival season as well.
yeah,
Then August you played like Whitehaven. Whitehaven's it springs to mind because that's where my granddad was from. We used to go on holiday down to the caravan down
yeah.
St. Dees, which is next to Whitehaven. So I that kind of sprang to mind. What was it like playing there? Because obviously that must be a smaller sport after playing all these kind of Don
Yeah.
Valley Bowl and all that to then go to Whitehaven.
I mean, sorry to think it, that also got cancelled, that show as well.
Oh, I get it.
Only because we got an email 2 or 3 weeks prior, and they just the venue just said to us, "We're struggling to get a sound guy for the evening." Um, so I don't know if it was because it was back end of festival season or whatever that might be, and they were struggling to get a sound guy. So that actually got cancelled. I don't know when it's rebooked in for, but no, what you're saying is right. It would have been that would have been a small show. So going from obviously Don Valley to there. But I think that's just kind of the nature of the beast, isn't it? You know, like it's only like we go on our own tours. Like we're going to when we play Sheffield on Thursday. There's 1,000 people going to be there in Sheffield, but also on the tour is Bristol, and I think there's only 250. Do you know what I mean? So like it's
Hmm.
just that's just nature of the beast, isn't it? You know, like you probably look at the Cortinas, like they probably play to 50,000 people in Manchester, but they go down to I don't know 6 to 7,000 or what that 10,000 in London. That's the same.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just the nature of the beast. You're going to be bigger in other areas and things like that. It just happens. Um, so yeah,
And obviously another kind of small gig, Wigan,
yeah,
opening a new place, Basque. So
yeah.
that must be a privilege for you to be kind of asked as a kind of the local band to kind of play that.
Yeah, I mean, Basque is it's almost legendary. The one that was in Stockport. You know, there's been loads of legendary figures play there from I'm sure like the Smiths or one of the Smiths, or you know, and there's loads of really big artists who are big influence of ours have played there. So when we got asked to do the opening one in Wigan, I was like, yeah, definitely. That was the we played that show instead of the Whitehaven gig. That's how that kind of went.
Right.
Um, but yeah, no, it was good, mate. Really good night. Loved it.
And then finished off with Rosa Ducks supporting Sheffield again ahead of your Manchester Ritz gig. So
Yeah.
might add again. And then finished off in December with support with the lottery winners again. As well as at festivals this year. And the festivals are kind of getting bigger as well. Isle of Wight Festival, which you played two sets, Tramlines, Truck Festival, and Why Not? And then Forum Festival as well, Viva Sounds in Gothenburg.
Yeah, in
What was
Sweden,
that
yeah.
like, kind of travelling abroad?
Yeah, it was good. It was really weird because people might not realize this, but a lot of bands actually take we had to buy a seat for our guitars. So like that's a really weird experience. You can imagine how I actually had to move. This is awful. I felt really bad this, but I actually had to move a woman from her seat because basically the guitars have to go near the window apparently. And I don't know why, but the seat that I bought was the middle seat. So I had to move a woman out of her seat because my guitar was going there. That was a really weird thing. Imagine if, you know what I mean? She was like, you what? You know what I mean? Like, you're moving me because of that. I was like, yeah, like I'm sorry, that this is weird for me as well, love, not just you. Do you know what I mean? But no, I think it was good traveling abroad. Loved it, loved every minute of it. You know, it was only a flying visit, so to speak. We went Saturday morning and come home Sunday morning. Literally not even 24 hours. I think it was 23 hours. So, no, it was good. Really good experience, and can't wait to hopefully get back out into Europe again
And
soon.
what was that festival like? Was there a
Um,
lot of British bands there?
There was loads on our stage specifically. Yeah, I think there was 4 other British bands. One of which Dylan Roberts supporting us in April at Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was good. It wasn't, don't get me wrong, it weren't some massive. There weren't thousands there. We're probably hundreds. It was more of an industry type festival. So there was a lot of industry people there from different backgrounds, things like that. So yeah, it wasn't like the ones that you get in England for sure. But it was just good to go and try it in Europe, and see what it was like. It was good to get a good feel for what European gigging's like.
Next stop, Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah. So and into this year, obviously, drip feeding the EP, calling it a night coming in January,
Yeah,
at Daft in February,
yeah.
and just last week,
Friday,
came
yeah.
out in full.
Yeah.
So what's the kind of reception been to the EP so far? Obviously, you just played those acoustic and store gigs as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the reception so far has been brilliant. It's gone down better than we thought. People are loving it. A lot of people have bought it, which is good. Obviously, looking to first time properly trying to get some decent chart positions, kind of thing. So, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people have bought it, and we can't thank them enough. A lot of people have bought like various different copies and stuff. But no, it's gone down. It's gone down really well. We've loved it. We've loved the records. A little bit different, a little acoustic stuff. Cajon and Jono, the bass player, was playing the egg and the tambourine, that kind of thing. It was just a little bit different. But no, we've loved every minute of it. It's out, like I said, our first proper release campaign, if you will, and we're just loving every single minute of it, mate. Yeah. Can't complain.
And due to get later on in the week to start the tour in full.
Yeah, Thursday night we're in Hull. Friday night we're in Sheffield. I think I might have said we're in Sheffield on Thursday before. No, we're Friday night Sheffield, and Saturday night we're in London. Yeah, and then after that we're all over the place.
Yeah,
so looking forward to it.
Birmingham, Leeds, Nottingham, Newcastle, Liverpool.
That's the one.
Obviously no Glasgow date on this tour. So that I wanted to get back to that because I nearly missed it. So Glasgow, King Tut's, at the end of last year, December the 7th. I know the date well because the band got offered local support, but then we never. Well, they didn't get offered. They were going to put us forward for it, and then we never got it. So we were absolutely gutted because that would have been.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I mean, you'll know as much as I do that. These days, bands get less and less of a say, really, in terms of who does the support. We can put a decent word in and things, but it usually comes down to the promoter or possibly someone at the your booking agent and things like that. So if I'd have known, mate, I'd have pushed for you, but I didn't realise. But no, it was good. It was a good night. It was good. It was obviously that is an iconic venue. Yeah. Obviously, the Oasis connections and things like that. But no, it was good. It was a good night. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. It was busy. It was packed. It was rowdy, as Glasgow always is.
It's a cracking venue. I've been so many times there the last the last couple of years. I seem to be there more than I used to.
Yeah.
Obviously, the band have played it twice, headlined it once, and then they played it again there in January. But that's what we're looking for now is kind of the support. I tried to get them on the Pastel one last month.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get them on the cast one at the Barra ones, but
that'd be good.
I just trying whatever I can. So this tour coming up. What's coming up after that? I know I've already looked, and there's hundreds of stuff announced. You say you get stuff.
So obviously there's festival season, obviously, which is the best time of the year. Isle of Wight, Kendal Calling, Why Not Festival, Bridge Spa by the Sea with This Feeling Again. I think there's Hardwick Festival, Rock and Roll Circus. There's some more I've missed there, some in July. There's loads. There are loads this year. And I'm really looking forward to getting out there and doing it.
And obviously the Manchester Homecoming again, November, isn't it?
Yeah, Manchester Academy 2,700 or something like that, which is just, pinch myself kind of moments. To think where, you know, you play the Castle to 70 people, and then in 4 or 5 years you got a show on sale that's just short of 3,000. It's just crazy, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Never thought we'd ever get there. So
it's good though to look back and kind of like just look at the Manchester gigs, then you can see how your career's kind of evolved, man. It's
no,
a
it's
story.
it's amazing, mate. Honestly, like I said, it's all down to the fans. You know what I mean? Like, sounds cliche, that, but it literally is. You know, and we can't thank them enough at all.
Brilliant. So, I mean, that's us at the end. Obviously, the last bit is the heroes, but I mean, all the best for the up and coming tour, man. It'll be brilliant, and then if you can get a fucking couple of days off at any point in the summer, that'll be you into a winner, because you get, as you touched on there, just so many gigs, so many festivals. So, the last bit of the podcast, God Time for Heroes. I asked my guests to pick 4 heroes to come for dinner. Why are they your heroes, and what would you cook for them as well?
What would I cook? Right. I don't really do much cooking, to be honest, mate, so this might be hard. I mean, my heroes, I love the Gallagher brothers. I love them. And that's not just for the music. I just love the way, I don't know, I love watching old interviews of the Gallagher brothers. I don't know, I just absolutely love them. So both of those would definitely be there. I mean, Noel's probably one of the reasons I got it. I loved the High Flying Birds. I prefer them way to Oasis. I've been watching them in Brussels. I've been watching them in a few places, and then I went watching Liam in a ski festival in Austria called Snowbombing. I went in this like forest, and there was like all these like furry like type. It was just such a great setting. So I literally love them both separately to Oasis, probably. So those guys, I would have to say probably Liam Frey, to be honest with you, from the core team, is just because of like he's probably the reason I'm in a band today. Probably one of the reasons I write the way I do and things like that. You know, he's the reason now probably our band are who we are today. So definitely him.
On the Liam Frey thing, actually, like obviously with your as you've kind of said, your admiration for him, and obviously working with Joe producing the album. What's the chances of getting like a support on a bill with
I mean, it's just I think it's probably still a little bit slim. I think it's probably. I mean, you never know. You never know. We've obviously asked the question, but like I said, I'm not sure how much those guys probably get a say. Like they're not really bothered who supports them. Really, they always get their friends on, don't they? Like the DMAs and things like that. But I'm not really sure what the odds are going to support. But you never know, mate. Stranger things have happened. And then my last person, I'm just going to go Kevin De Bruyne from Manchester City. I just love him. Just love him. My favourite footballer of all time. Just love him. What he's done for us at the club and things like that. So that would be my 4 heroes there. And I would probably cook fajitas, I think, because I know how to do fajitas.
Brilliant. And how would that get done? I'm just thinking, Liam Fraser, he's a United fan, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I forgot that the 2 brothers are City fans, massive City fans. So that bit.
Oh, they'll not let him live that. Did you on the Gallagher's? Actually, I just watched the Comic Relief thing. I watched that this morning with the 2 boys for In Between Us. Apparently, it's been getting quite a bad reception. I don't know if you've seen it.
What is it?
So they took that Joe for the In Between Us have done like a wee pastiche on the Oasis reunion. They're just doing all the kind of Manchester kind of.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen him with the eyebrows on.
I thought it was quite funny, but apparently it's been getting they've been taking some flack for it. First. But absolute pleasure having you on. Fajitas sound good as well, actually.
Yeah,
you know, I quite like fajitas. I don't like all the faffing about with them.
You can come as well if you want.
I'll be there, man. This is about we're well over 100 episodes, and I think I've been invited to most of these dinners, so I'll end up a big fat bastard by the end of it. But absolute pleasure having you on. All the best in the up-and-coming tour.
Yeah.
And then whatever else happens throughout the year, all the best on the big Manchester show.
Of course.
And to see you up in Scotland again soon.
I'm sure you will, mate.
But I'll post all your links and all that on the show notes for people to get in touch with you for tickets and like that. But pleasure coming on today, Ollie. Thank you.
No worries, mate. Thank you very much for having me.
Cheers, mate.
Bye, mate. Bye-bye.
I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Time for Heroes podcast. If you would like to get in touch, the best way is on the Facebook page, Time for Heroes podcast, or on Instagram at Time for Heroes podcast, or Twitter at Time for Heroes P1, or drop me an email at timeforheroespod@gmail.com. You'll find Time for Heroes on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, Google and Amazon. Please leave a review where you can, share with others, and more importantly, enjoy.